You ever hear about the time Bruce Lee trained so dangerously that even his friends thought he was going too far? Yeah, this isn't some Hollywood stunt stuff. This was real. Bruce Lee had this one insane training method that pushed his body and his mind right to the edge. And the craziest part? He swore by it. Said it made him nearly untouchable in a fight. Now, Bruce wasn't just doing high kicks and one-inch punches all day. He was experimenting, testing limits. And this one method? It was all about simulating real combat. I'm talking full contact, no holds barred, zero hesitation. He wanted his body to react instantly, like muscle memory on steroids. But here's the thing, it was dangerous. Not just for him, but for his training partners too. We'll get into exactly what it was in a sec, but just know, Bruce didn't care about being safe. He cared about being unstoppable. So what was the trick? Where'd it come from? And why do even modern fighters still shy away from it? Let's break it down. All right, so let's rewind the clock a bit. Bruce is in his late teens, back in Hong Kong. At this point, he's knee-deep in Wing Chun training under the legendary IP Man. But Bruce? He wasn't the type to just follow tradition blindly. He wanted more than drills. He wanted results. So, he started tweaking the way he trained. He took the principles of Wing Chun, speed, timing, sensitivity, and started pushing them into live, unpredictable situations. That's when he started doing what some people now call non-cooperative sparring. No choreo, no setups, just two people in a room, gloves on or off, and you go. You hit, you dodge, you get hit. Real reactions, real adrenaline. And Bruce, he didn't hold back. He wanted to get hit. Yeah, for real. He believed that getting hit in practice made you fearless in the ring or the street. That pain should be part of the learning process. His logic? If your brain gets used to chaos, you stay calm when it counts. And if your body gets used to impact, you don't flinch, you counter. But this wasn't just sparring, it was practically combat. And that's what made it so controversial. So, here's where it gets wild. This non-cooperative sparring wasn't just some friendly back and forth. Bruce wanted his training partners to go at him. Full speed, no pulling punches. He'd tell them straight up, if you don't try to hit me, you're wasting my time. Now imagine that. You're standing across from Bruce freaking Lee, and he's daring you to try and punch him in the face like you mean it. That kind of pressure, that intensity, it's not for the faint of heart. And this wasn't with headgear or padding most of the time either. Sometimes just gloves, sometimes nothing. People walked out of those sessions with busted lips, bruised ribs, black eyes. And Bruce? He loved it. To him, training safely was training wrong. He thought if your body only knew comfort, it would panic in real danger. But if your body was already used to chaos, you'd stay sharp. You'd stay alive. And yeah, that mindset, it scared people. Trainers didn't like it. Students got hurt. But Bruce didn't care. He was chasing mastery, and he knew that meant crossing the line others were too afraid to even walk near. Now you might be thinking, all right, but why take it that far? Like, why risk injury? Why push your own body to the brink on purpose? Here's the thing. Bruce wasn't just building muscles. He was building mental armor. He believed that real fights don't happen in a gym, under good lighting with a timer on the wall. They happen when you're tired, surprised, maybe even scared. And if you've only trained in clean, safe, choreographed environments, well, you're not ready. Bruce wanted to train how he'd fight. That meant dealing with fear, pain, unpredictability, all the stuff that messes with your head in real life. And this mindset, it bled into everything he did. He'd throw random attacks at his students during conversations. He'd train with blinding lights in his face. He'd spar in uneven shoes or on slick floors, just to simulate chaos. He wanted to be calm in the storm. That was the goal. Most fighters trained to avoid chaos. Bruce trained to be comfortable inside it. And honestly, that's what made him so different, so dangerous, so legendary. All right, so after everything we've talked about, you're probably wondering, was it all worth it? I mean, training to the point of injury, pushing past pain, sparring like it's real life every single time. It sounds intense, almost reckless. But to Bruce Lee, that was the point. Bruce didn't believe in staying in your comfort zone. He thought comfort was the enemy of progress. You can't grow if you're always safe. You can't become a warrior if you've never felt what it's like to bleed, to bruise, to break, and still keep moving. To him, that's what real strength was. And that dangerous training trick we've been talking about, it wasn't just physical, it was mental warfare. Bruce was teaching his body to not flinch, teaching his mind to not freeze. And every time he stepped into that training room, he was saying, "Bring the pain. I'm ready." That kind of attitude is rare. Most people avoid pressure. They avoid discomfort. But Bruce, he chased it. He hunted it down because he knew that pressure builds diamonds, or in his case, a living legend. And look around today. That philosophy, it's everywhere. MMA fighters simulate chaos in camp. Navy SEALs train in the harshest conditions possible. Entrepreneurs throw themselves into risk. And yeah, Bruce Lee was doing that way before it was mainstream. But here's what's even deeper. This wasn't just about fighting. It wasn't just about winning. Bruce's entire life philosophy was to be like water. Flow when needed. Crash when required. Be flexible, yet unshakable. And this training method, it forced him to become water. We're getting hit with full contact. When your training partner's not pulling punches, when there's real pain in the room, you can't fake it. You can't act cool. You either adapt or you fold. Bruce trained to adapt, to respond, to stay calm in the chaos. And that's the part that hits hardest. Because yeah, we're not all martial artists. But life throws punches too. You lose a job. You get betrayed. You fail at something big. It hurts. And the question is, do you fold? Or do you train yourself to stay calm and come back stronger? That's Bruce Lee's real legacy. Not just the kicks, not the movies, but this mindset that says, bring the storm. I am the calm. So next time life gets rough, just remember, Bruce didn't train to avoid the hits. He trained to walk through them. And that, right there, is what made him dangerous. Not the punches, not the speed, but the mindset.